Hello everybody, I'm Ernest. I'm downtown San Antonio today, and I thought, why not shoot a video of downtown San Antonio? This is not going to be all-encompass what to do in downtown San Antonio. It's just what I normally do, and I'm down here on some business, and then while I'm down here, I might as well shoot some video. So let's find some parking, and then we'll see what we see. Seems like it's going to be a nice day today. I parked on the third floor. Saw this historical marker. It's an old San Antonio National Bank building. It's a pretty neat looking little building, actually. It kind of sticks out because it's so small. This coming up here is the Aztec, which is a theater where they have plays and, you know, concerts, comedy shows. This is an old hotel, the Dury. I don't know specifically all the history on it, but I know it's an old hotel. I don't normally come downtown because you have to pay for parking, and it's a little bit of a hassle to get around town. But I got some business to do, so let me take care of that first. Here's a view of the Riverwalk, and we'll explore that some more. So that's a Holiday Inn, but at one time it was a jail, and supposedly it's super haunted. I went on a ghost tour and they told me about that. I think that's the Holiday Inn that they're talking about. Maybe I'm wrong. So this is the San Fernando Cathedral, one of the oldest churches in the United States, and some of the Alamo defenders are actually buried here, supposedly. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. The remains of the Alamo heroes are entombed in the chapel at the left side of the church, and this is what they're talking about. It's mainly this casket here has the remains, and it says here lies the remains of Davis, Crockett, and Bowie. That's David Crockett, James Bowie, and I can't remember Travis's first name. Is that Travis Austin? I don't remember. I'm having a brain fart right now. There's some people getting married right in front of the courthouse. So this is the courthouse, the downtown courthouse. Beautiful building, old building. Here's a placard in front of the courthouse that were the first settlers, well, at least not the native, but the of this area with the Canary Islanders. And the marriage is still going on over there. Oh yes, this bus here. So I took this tour. It's one of those buses where you hop on and hop off and they tell you the history as you drive around. And it just goes on in a loop. I've taken this bus tour before and I find it very useful. And and I've taken those tours in other cities and I find it very useful to give you the layout of the land and some quick history of the area, whatever city you're in. And most large cities have them. Here's a photo of front, and that's the courthouse. You can see back in the day. You can scan these codes down here and it'll tell you more about the area. So there in the distance is the Hemisphere Tower. That was created for the World's Fair, I think in 1968. Let's check out the Bear Heritage Center. I didn't know this was here. This is in the courthouse. Okay, so the first exhibit is, I didn't know San Antonio was the first Hispanic TV and radio station in the United States. So here's the layout of some of the missions here in San Antonio. And the most famous one, the Alamo. So we're in Bexar County, and this is the dude that it was named after. Nice wig. This museum is free and open to the public, but you will have to go through a security check because this is inside of the courthouse. There's a theater in here where you can watch a film.
They were here 10,000 years before anyone else. So this was their native land. So they were providing blessing.
We're praying to nature. And the first part we did the prayer.
Where they live is very fine. I call this place San Antonio de Padua because it was his feast. On May 1st, 1718,
The cultural arts. What is these fancy spurs? Pair of spurs of Texas bistro, Texas and bistro, hanging from roll. Not really sure, but I'm assuming these seats are from different theaters throughout the city. Anyway, this is free to public if you care to enjoy this. Fairly nice museum. Yeah, I did a video on this Hot Wells hotel. It was a mineral wells hotels, and it was popular in the early 1900s. And they're just the ruins now. But I have a video somewhere in my channel. This is inside the courthouse. So I was in the courthouse one time about a year ago. I was arrested on a DUI charge, and then to come to find out that after my blood test results came back that I wasn't drunk, and so I spent 36 hours in jail for nothing. This advertises like there's a marijuana in there. It's illegal in the state of Texas. It's just a smoke shop. Amigos Snacks and More. So here's one of the things that's very popular in this part of the country is Mexican snacks. I don't know if you've ever tried them or have them in your area, but there's all kinds of creative ways that Mexican culture has for creating desserts. There is the riverboat tour that you can take downtown. It's near the River Center Mall, and I've taken it many times. Also has history, narrative as you go down the city. Very entertaining. You know, as a tourist, I would definitely do that, and that bus tour too. I would definitely do those two things on the Riverwalk, and we're gonna go there next. Everything here in San Antonio is Alamo something. Alamo, the Alamos, one Alamo cylinder center. Yeah, everything here is named Alamo. So this museum, Bristow, he was some type of Texas politician. This museum, I've got a video on this museum too. It's really nice inside. Very nice building. I think it used to be like a library or something. Yeah, what says books are the homes of the American people. Yeah, I think it used to be the library, and now it's a Western art museum. Very nice. You know, I didn't know that this existed. This is part of the museum. It has like an outdoor little garden center with art on the outside, and this is free. You don't have to pay for this. Because I was a veteran, I got in free from what I remembered. Yeah, I didn't even know that this existed. There's another work of art out on the outside. Charles Goodnight. Not sure who that was, but you can read the placard if you wish. So this is the Hilton Paseo del Rio. Now, from my memory now, this was built also for the World's Fair in 1968. And what's unique in the history of this hotel is each of those rooms was separately laid like bricks on top of each other, and it had the furniture and everything inside of the room. And it was the first building, I believe, of this kind that was made. Another building that was made just like it, or with the same construction style, was the one at Disney World. I can't remember the one right by Magic Kingdom. God darn it, what was the name of that hotel? I should know that one. This sculpture was given to us by an artist in, I think it's a sister city in Mexico. Can't remember. Yeah, this is not the History Channel. People enjoying their meal at one of a famous restaurant here, Casa Rio, on the San Antonio River. This is the Riverwalk, of course, as you probably figured out. Here's that Hilton that I can't remember, the Walt Disney World Hotel that's built in the same modular style. God, somebody comment down below. All right, we're on the Riverwalk now. Let's go to the River Center Mall, but you can pretty much access anything from the river downtown wise. Now the story between this river is not, this is a man-made river fed by, I think, the San Antonio River, but this was built to control flooding. Some artwork along the river. San Antonio has a lot of history because it was started by the Spanish. So this used to be Spain, or New Spain, whatever you want to call it, and then it became Mexico, and then it became the Republic of Texas. We're the only state that was a nation, I think, for almost 10 years or so. And I think it was under Spanish rule for like 130, but I'm not really sure. And then we joined the United States. So a lot of history here in San Antonio.
That they were forming for us here in Texas. Cities today that were formed by Germans around San Antonio, like Bernie.
He's talking about the Germans that populated this area, which I so happen to be part German. My grandfather came from Germany, migrated here, married my grandmother, and had my mom, and then me. So I'm what? That makes me like a quarter German, I guess. So this says that there's a public art garden down here. Let's see. So this sculpture is called the Stargazer. This here by the River Center Mall is where you get these tour boats, these river barges, and it gives you a tour of the city from the river. Throughout the city, you'll see these gift shops. A lot of stuff from Mexico here that you can get. There's another area on the other side of downtown called the Market Square. They even have more of this, and sometimes they have music and stuff like that. Mexican culture. Here at the River Center, you have the restaurants, all kinds of restaurants. The Sugar Factory. I guess is it a restaurant or desserts? Not really sure. It's the river, and inside there is a restaurant, is a mall like you would normally see in any city. Just happens to be here downtown. Of course, you got to have your Fat Tuesday. So there's a theater here in the mall. It's called the IMAX, but AMC IMAX. But the thing that's been running here forever is the movie The Alamo. They run it continuously, and other movies too, all the up-to-date, recent movies, but because we're right across the street from The Alamo. Got a Morton Steakhouse. I'm starting to get hungry. Okay, so I didn't bother to go inside the mall because it's just a regular mall with regular stores. But when you come out the back door, you're just greeted here with the Magner Hotel. There's another old hotel. It's the Crockett Hotel. I'm assuming named after Davy Crockett. Right next to the River Center and the Magner. There's construction going on at the Alamo. They're adding on a museum to it. Phil Collins, the musician, he has more artifacts from the Alamo and Texas history than anyone, more than Texas. So they made an agreement that he would display his artifacts here if they built him a hotel. Okay, so part of the history of the Magner is this is a bar right here where Teddy Roosevelt recruited for his Rough Riders. right inside here. 1859, I guess it was established.
It's not a bad place to compete. But not far from where you're at is we also have the Esquire Tavern. Esquire Tavern is one of the longest bars in Texas. It is the longest.
So this is the famous bar where Teddy Roosevelt, they have Teddy Roosevelt all over the walls here. They have artifacts of him. It's kind of like a shrine to Teddy Roosevelt in here. Still have the old payphones in here. We're inside the hotel now. So there's a garden that they have out here in the old hotel. I wonder if Teddy Roosevelt walked these same grounds that I'm on. I know he was in that bar. Also, like any old hotel, they have ghost stories, and I took a ghost tour and we went through this hotel, or just inside here anyway. And there was a maid or someone that died here and supposedly still walks the grounds. So I haven't been over here in a while. I knew the Alamo was under construction, or not the Alamo itself, but they're building walls around it like it would have been when the Alamo had the battle. Because the Alamo is a mission, which a mission was basically a Spanish fort with a church in there. And but I haven't been here in a while to see what has gone on here. We're just outside of the Alamo, and all around here you'll have all the touristy trap things. There's a wax museum, Ripley's Believe It or Not, so on. Like this is something new. This is just outside of the Alamo. Well, and once I'm here, there's the Alamo, by the way, and we'll go over there in a little bit. But you got this little structure here, canyon. Not sure if I doubt if they're from the Alamo, but they're out here. See, here's what I was talking about, how they were going to put these walls back up. See, there's the Alamo. So right here is the street, and then here's all the buildings with all the touristy trap stuff in there. Sculpture of James Bowie, one of the ones that is interned supposedly at the San Fernando. Bowie, by the way, is where the knife, where the Bowie knife came from. Another map of the Alamo. We are here where this wall is at, and a canyon right next to the church of the Alamo. Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on here. It would be nice to see what happens once it's completed. The Alamo was kind of lackluster, and now they're starting to make it more attractive to tourists. Mr. Crockett himself. So this is a monument that has been here for a long time. Not sure what they're doing. Are they changing the monument, or is I'm guessing they're adding to it, so I'm not really sure. But this monument was dedicated to the falling. So this is it right here. And this is where Ozzy Osbourne was arrested, and he took a leak on this monument. Okay, I got my free ticket. to go into the church and the grounds. And so we're gonna go inside real quick and explore the Alamo. You can pay to go into the museum, that's $14, and you can pay for guided tours, and also you can pay for an audio tour, whichever way you want to do it. Or you just want to come in here and wander around for free, you just go to that booth there and they'll give you the ticket. Okay, this line on the ground, I think it's to signify the line that was drawn in the sand by Colonel William Barrett Travis. So there's the name that I couldn't remember back at the church, but this is to signify the line that they drew in the sand. So, and supposedly only but one man did not cross the line, and that's right in front of the Alamo. So we're gonna go inside the Alamo. So now you can actually film and take pictures inside the Alamo. All my life it was considered holy, and you could not take pictures or videos inside of the Alamo. But it's basically gutted out inside, and there is rooms you can go into, and placards you can read of the different things pertaining to the Alamo. Those are the flags that Texas flew under. So all the names are engraved in these plates of the fallen heroes. That is the entrance door over there. Seems to be a video in there if you want to watch a video, I'm sure, pertaining to the Alamo. I think if I'm reading this right, these are different states: New Jersey, New Hampshire, Missouri, Mississippi, and the number, I think those numbers, number 3, number 6, 1 and 1, are the amount of people that served in this battle of the Alamo. So when you exit the Alamo, you come on to the back, and there's a gift shop in there. We'll go look at that. I guess this was a museum at one time. It says Alamo Museum erected 1936. It's a gift shop now. Come and take it, the famous Battle of Gonzales, the start of the revolution. There's the Bowie knife. Here they have some kind of, look like a stage at certain time. This is the tour that you can pay for, that they you'll have a guide, so they're gonna have some type of show here later, and they do reenactments and such. So this is the long barracks, I guess, where some of the troops would have been their quarters. This is a very old oak tree. So this tree was brought here in 1913, and at that time was thought to be 40 years old. and has grown to this, where the branches are on the ground. Looks like they filled up this irrigation ditch. This was originally was here. I remember most of my life there'll be water in it and there'll be coal fish in it, but they filled it up with pebbles. So here's where they have some encampment reenactment. There's a gentleman there that's giving out information. I think throughout the day or certain times of the year they have different displays. Now this back here is part of that museum that I told you houses Phil Collins exhibit and other stuff too, but he had that much stuff that belonged to Texas. Oh yeah, and a new addition that they have here is they bought the Pee-wee bike, which evidently, I guess part of the Pee-wee movie was filmed here, and I guess he was on the bike at that particular episode. Oh, wait a minute, now it's got a different name to it. Maybe I got this all wrong about the Phil Collins. I know he has a big collection of stuff from the Texas history. No, I was right. The Alamo exhibit view hundreds of artifacts from the Alamo and the Phil Collins collection. These are the prices for the guided tours. And I talked to the girl at the front. She said it's $14 to go inside there, and it does have the Phil Collins collection in there. But this video is about downtown San Antonio, not the Alamo. I do have a video on that though, if you want to look it up. I do have an Alamo video. Yeah, this is probably one of the #1 tourist destination here in San Antonio. Is the Alamo. This building here looks like they're going to save it and do something with it. Here next to the Ripley's Believe It or Not is how I'm going to take you down. I think it's still open unless it's under construction too. No, it's under construction too. This is how I used to get to the Riverwalk. Oh well, we'll go around. We'll go around. Oh, look at this. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, I would give it another 2 years, year and a half, if you're planning to come down here to go to the Alamo, and that way you can experience all this new stuff that's coming up. Here at the Wax Museum, I guess that's Canal, Wick, John Wick. I can't remember this dude's name. It's kind of weird that when you're famous like that they make statues of you of wax, and so people just come look at a wax statue of yourself. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Of course, it wouldn't be a tourist trap without the Rainforest Cafe. Heading toward the Riverwalk. I know at nighttime here at the Hyatt, they have like jazz bands. It's supposed to be pretty good for jazz music. A lot of shade here in the Riverwalk, and restaurants, bars, gift shops, as you would probably expect from a place like this. That across the street is the Hard Rock. I think it's the Hard Rock Cafe. Maybe it's over here, I don't know. A lot of restaurants in this area. I don't know what the deal was, these fluorescent art pieces here and there. Bubble Gump Shrimp Company, of course.
I know, but we just got the license. Less expensive.
This restaurant here, the County Line Legendary Barbecue. I one time ate there. Because I figured, you know, it's pretty pricey there too. But it's some of the worst barbecue I've ever had. But it's just disappointing. A lot of tourists are going to come here and think, I thought Texas has great barbecue. And then they come to the county line because they're tourists and they're disappointed. So here's a Hard Rock right next to the county line. The other place is called Howl at the Moon. It's a piano bar. That corner right there used to be Planet Hollywood. Do y'all remember that? Yeah, it was a big Planet Hollywood. It was on the news. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone came or something like that, and it was a big deal. And then, well, you know, it went out of business. As you can tell on the top, there's a dome. That's how some of the Planet Hollywoods were back then. But it's gone now. Now it's a gift shop or something. But anyway, that's my video, my little walkthrough downtown. It's not everything there is to do, but just my version of it. Thanks for watching. Sure, Shipley's Donuts is pretty famous here in Texas. They are one of my favorite donut shops.